Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so if you're gearing up for the Program Management Professional certification, the PgMP, you might be tempted to just think of it as, a harder, slightly more complicated PMP exam. But honestly, that's the very first trap. Cracking the PgMP is not just about managing a bunch of projects at the same time. It's really about managing interdependencies and, frankly, fundamentally rewiring your brain. You've got to unlearn those tactical day-to-day project management habits we all have and fully embrace a strategic, enterprise-level mindset. So today, we're going to break down exactly how to do that. Here's a quick look at our roadmap. We're going to cover 5 core pillars: the mindset shift, strategy alignment, benefits management, governance over heroics, and finally, the exam mindset. Let's dive right in. Section 1, the mindset shift, unlearning tactical habits. To succeed in program management, you really have to leave that familiar, comfortable world of project execution behind. You're stepping into a much broader domain now. Our source material actually puts it perfectly. The PgMP exam does not reward speed, heroics, or technical cleverness. It rewards judgment. And that right there sets the absolute baseline for what PMI expects from you. At the program level, working an 80-hour week to just force a struggling project over the finish line, that's not a badge of honor anymore. It's actually a governance failure. They aren't looking for a lone wolf hero. They want a mature leader who relies on calculated judgment to protect the organization's long-term value. Now notice the stark contrast between these two roles. Project managers, they rely on their tactical toolkit. They focus on outputs, right? Like building a software app, rolling out an HR system, constructing a bridge. It's inherently temporary and task-driven. Program managers, on the other hand, are the gears integrating that entire system. They focus on outcomes and continuous benefits. Delivering a project perfectly on time and under budget is honestly completely useless if that deliverable doesn't mesh with the overarching program and actually provide real business value. As a program manager, your focus has to shift from did we build it right to did we build the right thing to achieve our strategic goals. Moving to Section 2, Strategy Alignments, the North Star. We have to remember that programs do not exist in a vacuum. They aren't just initiated to keep people busy. They are purpose-built vehicles designed specifically to execute an organization's strategy. So consider this kind of exam scenario. What happens when that strategy changes? Imagine you're 2 years into a massive multi-million-dollar program, and out of nowhere, a competitor drops a disruptive AI technology that renders your end goal completely obsolete. Or maybe some new federal regulation passes overnight. What is your immediate reflex? Well, the golden rule is simple. Adaptation is always greater than rigid execution. PMI expects programs to pivot, scale back, or even terminate entirely when the environment shifts. Now, I know it can be incredibly difficult for a seasoned project manager to let go, but blindly pushing forward just because, money has already been spent, that is a massive red flag. Persistence without alignment is considered a failure in program management. Bottom line, if the strategy changes, the program absolutely must change with it. All right, Section 3, Benefits Management, the core domain. This is a big one because a lot of candidates confuse objectives with benefits. Objectives describe your strategic intent. That's like saying, we want happier customers, or we want to be the market leader. Those are great wishes, but they are not benefits. A benefit has to be a measurable, tangible value realized by the organization. It's quantifiable, it's time-bound, and most importantly, someone's name is actively on the line to own it. If you can't measure it, and you can't hold someone accountable for it, it's just a vague objective. And vague objectives do not justify program funding. Looking at the benefits life cycle here, the trap most project managers fall into happens right after delivery. Your accountability doesn't just magically end the moment a capability is built and the code is deployed. No way. You have to ensure that the capability is smoothly transitioned to the operational teams and that its value is actively sustained long-term. Sustainment is the key word here. Closing up shop before sustainment is guaranteed is a surefire way to fail the exam. You are on the hook until the organization is actually reaping the rewards. Section 4, Governance over Heroics. In this domain, your role gets completely redefined. You are no longer the frontline problem solver. You're a governance facilitator tasked with protecting the value of the program. Authority levels are strictly defined, and you must respect them. The sponsor holds the purse strings and owns the business case. The steering committee provides oversight and handles the major change approvals. And your job? Coordination, integration, and escalation.
Making unilateral financial or strategic decisions outside of your designated bounds will fail you on the exam, every single time.
And this leads us to one of the hardest psychological shifts for candidates to make. Listen to this. Escalation is a sign of good governance, not failure. As project managers, we're practically wired to fix things, right? We love to dive into the weeds, put out the fires. So naturally, we think escalating an issue means we failed to solve it ourselves. But in program management, when a risk or an issue or a change breaches your defined authority thresholds, escalating it up to the steering committee proves that you respect the organizational structure. It is exactly what PMI wants to see. Finally, Section 5, the exam mindset cracking the PMG. The ultimate decision-making framework we've been unpacking today is actually grounded in Mohammed Abdullah Ramadan's PMP crash course. Passing this certification isn't about rote memorization of inputs, tools, techniques, and outputs. It is about completely adopting a very specific worldview. PMI wants to see mature, ethical leaders who can balance competing priorities. And above all, protect long-term organizational health over short-term wins. You literally have to put on your enterprise leadership hat and think exactly how they want you to think. When you're staring down a tricky multiple-choice question, apply this PMI would never mental filter. PMI would never bypass governance just to save time or move a project faster. They would never ignore stakeholder resistance, because angry stakeholders destroy benefits. They would never prioritize sunk costs over future value. Seriously, if the program is dead and the strategy shifted, kill the program, regardless of what you've already spent. And they will absolutely never defend hiding bad news or taking unethical shortcuts. Keep this filter active in your mind, and those incorrect answers will become incredibly obvious. I'm going to leave you with a single, powerful litmus test. Before you click submit on any exam question, just pause and silently ask yourself, which option best protects or enhances strategic value? If an answer relies on proper governance, if it aligns with the strategy, and if it prioritizes long-term benefits, it's highly likely to be the winner. Internalize this enterprise mindset, unlearn the tactical urge to just get things done at all costs, and you will absolutely crack the PMP. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.